So guys, this is the cry of the people whose beloved ones have been taken by terrorists in southern Kaduna. We have 166 people in terrorist den currently. The Nigerian intelligence organization or group, the DSS, they cannot find or trace where these people are. Now, it will shock you to know that the terrorists have even issued a warning to the Tinubu's government. They said they are not going to negotiate now. They are not going to tell Tinubu the ransom, the amount they want. They say, first of all, the government should buy them their motorcycles that have lost. See how this headline captured it. Bandit demands 28.9 million naira for lost motorcycles before ransom talk for 166 abducted Christians. So guys, 166 abducted Christians are in the bush in the terrorist den. And
welcome to Naija Voice TV. This is a platform where we give voice to the unheard. Sit down, let me fill you in and bring you up to speed. I want us to vet this video properly. I'm going to leave you to watch the full video. After watching the full video, drop your thoughts on the comment section. Let us engage. This is Naija Voice TV. Our own is to react on trending issues. Our own is to escalate the debate. Our own is to give voice to the unheard. What mainstream medias cannot televise is what Naija Voice TV will always report, because mainstream medias, many of them have been infiltrated by corrupt politicians. You see this video that you are watching, I'm going to leave you to watch it. Bandits and kidnappers, terrorists have kidnapped people in southern Kaduna, and right now they are demanding that federal government should pay ransom for their motorcycle before talking about negotiation for people that are being kidnapped. How long are we going to face this insurgency? How long are we going to face this razzmatazing? How long are we going to face this insecurity? Our military has been overwhelmed. The government are tired. Now, the situation of Nigeria has called for urgent attention globally. Even the G7 and the world power, UK Parliament, everyone are interested in the safety of Nigeria. Thank God for Donald Trump have sent his airstrike to Nigeria to destroy terrorist camp and banditry camp. The truth of the matter is that this is what we have been suffering since 2014, all in the name to remove Jonathan from government. The former president, late Buhari, was the one who actually brought these people into the country, Nigeria. And now, look at the return. Look at the return that Nigerians are now facing heat, especially Christianity. How long are we going to continue this injustice? I want you to watch the full video. How men and women are crying for their loved ones, their parents, their husband, their children, and also their mother. How long are we going to continue this insurgency in Nigeria? Well, watch the full video. Drop your thoughts on the comment section. Let us engage. Everything said on this video has nothing to do with the management of Naija Voice TV, but their own personal political analysis and opinion. We are not trying to cause violence. We are not trying to promote violence. We are not trying to bring the government of the day down, but we are trying to report what the government don't want the world entirely to see. Our own is to react on trending issues. Our own is to give voice to the unheard. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Drop your thoughts on the comment section. Click the notification button for more updates. This is Naija Voice TV.
Welcome to Naija Voice Television, where we give voice to the unheard.
so guys, this is the cry of the people whose beloved ones have been taken by terrorists in southern Kaduna. We have 166 people in terrorist den currently. The Nigerian intelligence organization or group, the DSS, they cannot find or trace where these people are. Now, it will shock you to know that the terrorists have even issued a warning to the Tinubu's government. They said they are not going to negotiate now. They are not going to tell Tinubu the ransom, the amount they want. They say, first of all, the government should buy them their motorcycles that have lost. See how this headline captured it. Bandit demands 28.9 million naira for lost motorcycles before ransom talk for 166 abducted Christians. So guys, 166 abducted Christians are in the bush in the terrorist den, and one of them who escaped said when they got to the den of these terrorists, they saw many more people that have been kidnapped. So many Nigerians are living in terrorist den under horrific torture by these terrorists, and the government is quiet on this. Now, these terrorists are daring Tinubu to his face that, Tinubu, we are not going to tell you our ransom this time. You will first buy all our motorcycles that have lost before we start talking to you. Don't forget that when they kidnapped in Kwara State, we were told, Bayo Ononuga came on Arise TV and told us that the government contacted the terrorists and told them to release them. And later, there was speculations all over the places that they actually paid ransom. Now, when they kidnapped in Kebbi State, you know the number of students that they kidnapped, more than 300 and something that were kidnapped. We were told that they paid ransom. Now, they went to Niger State also, kidnapped school children. We were also told that ransom was paid before they returned those children. Now, these ones in Southern Kaduna, they are telling Tinubu that, see, we are not going to tell you ransom. We are not telling you the amount we need for ransom. First, you buy our motorcycles before we even start talking to you about the ransom, how much you are going to give us if you want us to return all these people we kidnapped. So guys, tell me where else on this planet do terrorists have this level of boldness, if not only in Nigeria? If not only in Nigeria, we don't see people like them talking tough on terrorists. They believe that the Fulanis should not be killed. I mean, the Fulanis should not be killed. One person tweeted yesterday on Twitter that El-Rufai once said that if you kill one Fulani man, no matter how long it takes, they will come for you. Meaning, even if a Fulani man is a terrorist, you dare not touch him. And that is why they are campaigning for, non-kinetic measures in stopping terrorism, which is not working. Now, it will shock you to see this headline. See what is happening in Nigeria. 5,000 repentant Boko Haram fighters reunite with family. This is in Nigeria. This happened last year. We had 5,000 repentant Boko Haram at a goal at once released back into the society. They said they have repented. We don't even mention how many of them in total have been. This was just a batch of Boko Haram terrorists released into the society. 5,000 of them. So guys, the insecurity isn't going out anytime soon, considering that we have sympathizers of these terrorists. And now again, there is this other headline here that says dozens killed as ISWAP. Bukura, this one is Bukura, no more Lukarawa. This is another terrorist group. Bukura terrorists clash near Nigeria-Niger border in Borno. So guys, these people are having a field day. No challenge, nobody is questioning what they are doing. The two different terrorist organizations clash somewhere near Nigeria border, and they are having their own field day. Now, it will even shock you that while we are talking about what happened in Southern Kaduna, these terrorists went to Plateau State and quite close to 15 persons. I mean, look at it here. This is Reverend Dachumo with the American guy who came from America to come and help rebuild some of the, burnt down houses and schools and, rebuild some of the communities. This guy has been on ground. Thank God he's alive. He has been on ground trying to help to do some rebuilding. And right there in his face, he saw people being massacred. Look at him with Evangelist Dachumo, burying the dead. This happened in Plateau State just a few days ago. So guys, this is what we are saying about insecurity in Nigeria. The thing is not ending, and we are not seeing any real step by the Tinubu's government to end terrorism. Because tell me why Nuhu Ribadu is not telling the defense minister to go hard on these terrorists. Instead, we saw Professor Yusuf, one of the northern elders, telling Musa, now you are a defense minister, you dare not kill the Fulanis. Don't kill the Fulanis. You are now a politician. You are no more a military man. You are now a politician. You dare not, because you are going to suffer the consequences. So guys, this is the reality of Nigeria and the fight against insecurity. And that is why it is not going to end anytime until we have those Fulanis in occupying key government positions, standing up to the reality on ground and telling the defense minister to go all out against these terrorists. Don't forget that the former defense minister said where the terrorists are, that the bomb Nigeria has cannot bomb them, meaning that they are invisible. That is what he said. They cannot strike them. But still, they have their den where they take their captors to, their captives to. So, guys, let me allow you to take a look at these videos and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
Brother, my sister, this is the mass burial. This mass burial is going on today, being 22 of January 2026. These are the Christians. Fulani terrorists killed today, and they are doing mass burial today. You can see Reverend Ezekiel. Reverend Ezekiel have gave order they should open the casket, because Gumi and some of our wicked politicians are saying that Christians are burying empty caskets. That is why Reverend Ezekiel gave order they should open it. This is what is happening today, being 22 of January 2026. Mass killing of Christians. This is what is happening today. May God show us mercy for what we are going through in Nigeria. As you are watching this video, make sure that you share this video, and if you are in America, send this video to the New York Times, the New York Reporter, the New York Times. Send them this video, because now them follow for the people where they talk say no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Make sure that you share this video. I will not post all the videos due to Facebook standard. So if you need the video, go to my comment section, join my WhatsApp channel. I will post the full video there on my Telegram. So thank you and God bless you.
Yes, sir. If you cannot defend your people, you are a coward. Yes, sir. Do something. Prepare yourself for self-defense. I'm going to finish up with this. Gumi said that we Christians were burying empty coffins. We are burying empty coffins. Gumi ache muna bisong apatin gawa ba komi kai kunji. Yes, sir. Kukuda mini kawana. Kudan masa. Kai kudan masa. One after the other. Kudan masa. Kukadi. Is it an empty copy? No. Eh? No. Is it an empty coffin? No. Open that one. Is it an empty coffin? No. All these people, they wake up this morning or yesterday evening, they say goodbye, they didn't know they are not coming back home. That is the life of a Christian in Nigeria. They are bribing the war so that they will kill us the more. I've said it, and I'll continue to say it. They are paid higher killers from the Fulani terrorists to kill us the more, so that they will take over the state. Only God of vengeance shall repay for us. Amen. Some of you said that I'm dead. I'm alive, I'm not dead. Yes. Some of you said they have flown me to abroad and about to die with sickness I am alive. Some of you that have cooked up, that are finished, I'm still alive. And I'm going to perform today the latest burial in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Kakis, over to you.
I welcome all.
We wake up this morning with pain in our hearts, with bitterness in our hearts, and crying out to God for help. Waking up this early morning, Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, in my community, Kuru District in Jos South, Plateau State, Nigeria. Waking up this morning, the community was attacked by Fulani terrorists who came in, destroyed and killed people. And among those who were killed, young and able men who are struggling to bring food to their families, who will wake up in the morning struggling to get food to take care of their families. 7 able young men killed. This is terrible. This is heartbreaking. Kuru community in Josa local government of Plateau State, Nigeria, was thrown into a mourning situation. These able young men that were killed by these wicked terrorist Fulani guys is sad that none was arrested. For goodness sake, these are human beings. These are not ghosts. You look at their base in Rio, Mahanga. These people are wiping away Christians. When we talk about Christian genocide in Plateau State, Middle Belt and Nigeria, only the wicked will deny this fact. There are evidence abound. People can come and see what is going on. You go to Riom local government, they have taken over more than 18 communities there, where they have killed the people, wiped them out, taken over their homes. But yet, the government will pretend that nothing is happening. Is it not shameful that even the government will look for money to bribe and lobby to deny the fact of Christian genocide in Nigeria? Now look at it today. In the night, early morning of today, Thursday, 22nd of January 2026, these able young men who went out to look for food for their families. When I was looking at the list of these young people that were hacked to death by these Fulani terrorists, my heart ached. I am in pain looking at young men coming from my community. These are families that we know. These are families that we live together in peace. These are families that we worship God together. Today they are no more. It's so painful. And I was looking at the names of these young people. Dungyang, a 19-year-old young man, left behind a widow and a small child. Wendong, 26, killed, left behind 2 little children and a wife. And I look at Francis Paul, 23-year-old young man, killed, left behind a wife and a small child. Samuel Peter, 22-year-old, killed, left behind a small child and a wife. Dung Simon, 28-year-old young man, hacked to death, left behind a wife and 3 children. Pam Dung, 23, and Francis Marcus, 15-year-old young man. These are young people with a bright future. And overnight, killed by Fulani terrorists. What a painful day. What a sad situation for my community in Kuru district of Jos South Plateau State. And the painful thing about this situation, people are being killed on daily basis. Christians are being wiped away in Plateau State, Middle Belt and Nigeria. It is sad that the government are even denying this fact. We have graves all over the land. Mass graves of people all over the land. These are verifiable facts. You can verify them. They are all there for everyone to see. I want to plead with the American government to do something, and to do something fast before we are completely wiped away by these Fulani terrorists. I am pleading with the American government. Please act now. Save our lives. We are being killed and terrorized by these Fulani terrorists. And we know the government cannot save us. The government are busy denying the fact of Christian genocide. American government, we plead with you. Act, and act fast. Now these young men are gone. Who cares about them? Who cares about their families? What a painful day for us today. It's sad. It's so painful that we keep losing young people in our communities, killed overnight, and no justice for our communities. There is Christian genocide going on right now in Plateau State, in Middle Belt, in Nigeria. No one will deny this fact. I plead with you, the American government, come and save us from the hands of these Fulani terrorists. Because we know the Nigerian government is not willing, is not capable of saving us. We pray for intervention. Please act, and act fast.
When I was in detention at DSS, one of the officers that usually take me to court, one very fine, handsome man, he's from Borno State. He said to me, do you know I am a Christian and I am indigenous to Borno? I didn't come from anywhere else. My ancestors, our village, we have been there for millennia. Do you know that? I said, no, I don't know. He said, the mistake people make is that lumping everybody from the north together. They're either Hausa or they're Fulani. That I'm mistaken. This is a DSS officer trying to lecture me. I said, okay, I understand. And he said to me, when he was bringing me back from the court, he said to me, our problem is not with Biafra, not with you, but if you go, what is going to be our fate? The only reason why we have not been slaughtered or forcibly converted to Islam is the presence of Igbo people everywhere in Nigeria. A DSS officer confessed to me that it is better for them that we are all suffering in one Nigeria than to allow the East to break away. Because if you go, there will be no buffer anymore. There will be nobody to protect us. We are finished. DSS officer confessed to me.
US Congress is about to present a case to Donald Trump over breaking Nigeria into northern and southern Nigeria. The north will be the Muslim part of Nigeria, while the south will be the Christian part of Nigeria. According to the report, I'm sure most of you have seen that video where the US Congressman Willie Moore was addressing the Congress, telling them that they're about to present that suggestion to Donald Trump, that the best way that Nigeria can exist without controversy and religious crisis is to divide the country into northern and southern Nigeria, which is the Muslims will stay on their own while the Christians will stay on their own. The report said US Congress to propose the breaking of Nigeria to President Donald Trump. We will provide options for President Trump on Nigeria. This January 2026, US Congressman Willie Moore said breaking up Nigeria will be one of the options to create a safe zone for Christians in Nigeria. Half Muslim, half Christian has never worked and it will never work. Islam in Nigeria will not accept equality, according to this report. After this news, everywhere is scattered. You can see this post and the caption from another man telling the North to wake up, that the US Congress has proposed to break up Nigeria. This news sent a very serious shockwaves to the North, because these guys does not want anything that will bring separation in the country. Do you think that this suggestion by Willie Moore to suggest to Donald Trump to divide this country into northern and southern Nigeria, do you think this is going to be the best option?
Terrorists are occupying part of Nigeria in Sokoto and Plateau State, as I talk to you now. Two of us. Did you know the Carlo take away any part of Nigeria and say this is Biafran land when he was agitating? Tell me. Some people are occupying Nigerian territory, Nigerian land, as I talk to you today. Who are those people? Did you know the Carlo go that far?
But Riley Moore, you know, U.S. House member, was in Nigeria on a fact-finding mission, and he visited Benue and Plateau.
Yes.
And when he went back, he said he saw over 600.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Internally displaced people.
Exactly.
Now, since he went back to the United States, do you think that it's also on the table that American government might say, look, Nigerian government, if you want to show sincerity, if you want to show intentionality in fighting this problem, these people must go back to their home.
Exactly.
No, I'm asking, do you think that
it must? No, it's not a question of do you think, it must. It must for Nigeria to get back on its tracks. Because you cannot have your citizens living in IDP camp and then you go to bed every night and sleep and wake up. And you swore to protect them. You don't even need US to tell you this. You don't need US. So are they going to live in IDP camp forever? No, tell me, the people of Benue and Plateau, are they going to live in IDP camp forever?
Barrister, you seem to be missing my point.
What is the point?
My point is, at this moment, those people are still in ID camp. My direct question is, do you think that at some point it will be on the table on discussion between Nigerian government and US government?
I don't told you that, yes, it must. Do you need someone to tell you that? As a government, do you need someone to even tell you that? Let's be sincere here. These are your Nigerian citizens. And I ask you again, are they going to live in IDP camp forever? Would they go back to their home? Do you need anybody to tell you to go and do the needful? More so, when the people occupying their villages and their homes are foreign terrorists. Please, what they did, is this for the good of Nigeria or for the bad of Nigeria? Just tell me. If the idea came from them, the federal government should congratulate them, because that is the national service they did. What the federal government could not do, IPOB members or DBOs invited Donald Trump to come and do it. So why are they not attacking Donald Trump? If what he came to do here was not in the interest of Nigeria, why should they not own up? In fact, they should be praising themselves that they have done a national duty for Nigeria. IPOB members, when they accuse you of being responsible for Donald Trump coming, beat your chest and say, yes, we thank God we did it. Yes. That is what they refused to do. They now invited somebody who came to do it. And let me tell you, remember they have proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization. So if actually they were terrorist organization, would Donald Trump have listened to them? All this is a shame on the federal government. A group they should recognize for who they are, what they represent. You are not demonizing them, vilifying them. But elsewhere, outside here, they are recognized. So if they accuse you that you are the one that brought Donald Trump, beat your chest and say, yes, we did it. And he came for the good of Nigeria. Okay. All right. Nnamdi Kanu was wrongly jailed. Seriously. His rights and everything was flagrantly disobeyed. The man The man who was so ebullient, who was so happy to go and kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, is now facing the same thing that he accused Nnamdi Kanu of. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine this poetic irony in life? You can see. Whatever you sow, you reap. If somebody had told Malami that you go through this thing one day, you wouldn't have believed it. The very man who orchestrated Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap and all that, even when the court said he should go, that Nnamdi Kanu should, Malami insisted that Nnamdi Kanu must be brought back and face some spurious charges. The same thing the EFCC did to them. When he left the court, they arrested him on the court immediately and took him back to prison. So that is how life is. So with all this development, the whole world can now see that Nnamdi Kanu was wrongly jailed. All the things he was saying, nobody said that it is wrong or no, it's not true, it's not happening, no. Is it not the same thing that you are witnessing today? Imagine if the federal government had called these people, like they have been dialoguing with Toju Bello and other terrorists. If they had called IPOB, okay, come, my people, come, what is wrong? What are you people talking about? What happened? For a dialogue. Maybe this thing would have died down. They will not give them the assurances and all that. And maybe they will step like they did this protest yesterday. Did anybody die? Did they kill anybody? Were they carrying gun? That was exactly what they were doing. Before the federal government under Buhari started using gun to kill all of them.
Barrister, talking about the release of Nnamdi, recently, you know, there's been this engagement, this collaboration between the U.S. government and Nigerian government security agencies. And well, before then US said, before we backpedal, you know, on our threat of having to take out these people, there are certain things that we need you to do. Exactly. And we understand that one of them was the release of Sunday Jackson, you know, the farmer that was jailed by the Supreme Court in Adamawa. Is it Adamawa in Taraba, somewhere in the northeast? And we saw him released. He was granted pardon and clemency. Do you think that release of Nnamdi Kanu might at some point come in the table?
He's already on the table.
Between the U.S. government and Nigerian authorities?
Okoro is already on the table. Whether the U.S. will put their mouth or federal, it's already on the table. Nnamdi Kanu must be released. No. Because it is obvious that that man was wrongly jailed. From these terrorists that are walking all over the place.
But I want us to be factual.
The fact that it's on the table already. At a point, it will come up.
But for now, it hasn't come up.
It's already, discussions are going on.
Let's be very clear.
The government
at the point it will come up, or is already on the table.
Hold on, I told you now that discussion is going on behind closed doors. Okay. It's not something that will just wake up.
Between the U.S. government and Nigeria.
No. Nigerian government and some Igbo leaders.
Okay. Yes. My direct question is, do you think that at some point, you know, it might be on the table? U.S. will say, look, if you do this, we need you to do this. I said
it's already on the table.
Which table now?
Both Nigerian government and the U.S. government table is there. It's part of it because the Igbo leaders of thought and some other concerns are already talking about it, but it's behind closed doors. Until that discussion is concluded, we are still talking about it. We are still raising that issue because we are now seeing that yes, from all indication, this man was wrongly jailed. The IPOB members, what they have been talking about, have now come to realization. Most Nigerians did not understand what these guys were up to before. All the things they said about Nigeria is what we are seeing today. The thing is that you cannot live in denial for too long. With this peaceful rally and all that, Donald Trump should be made aware of all these things. They should articulate all these things and then make sure that he gets the attention of Donald Trump, because in his first coming, as a U.S. president, that was when this thing happened. Okay. And now he has come back, and the issues are still there, and these guys are being persecuted. So Donald Trump should be made aware, and the Nigerian states. In fact, I should say that it is a shame on them, because what these guys stood for, what they have been talking about, is what the same Donald Trump have come to address in Nigeria. You can imagine. Is it not irony that the same man they were commemorating his inauguration and all that is the person that have come to save Nigeria? So on that score, the Nigerian state should carry the shame and recognize these guys for what they were talking about. If they had listened to them, maybe Donald Trump wouldn't have come.
Okay, now.
The earlier APC government take away political sentiment out of this matter, the better. Because even if APC leaves office tomorrow, the next government will inherit this problem. So the earlier they release Nnamdi Kanu, the better. Let them stop all the political sentiment that within Nnamdi Kanu's release, we will not have our way in the Southeast. He will be dominating the. Those things are not. They are secondary. The important thing is that Biafra land or whatever or IPOP is in the mind of the Igbos as I talk to you today. These other people that have done worse since Mr. Okoro, what have you done to them? That is the first question. What Nnamdi Kanu was doing and what the people have done so far, which one is better? It was the activities of these people that made Donald Trump to come and bomb Nigeria. Didn't Nnamdi Kanu invite Donald Trump to come and bomb Nigeria? So you should be considerate in whatever you are doing. That is what I'm saying here. These people have done worse things that everybody can see. Yet, they are being pampered. They are being behaving as if it is their right, you know. But Nnamdi Kanu was agitating for what? Self-determination. Is that not the cause of the matter? Did they ransack any village? Did they say that Muslims will convert to Christians before he can lay down his agitation? No! A simple matter that is not recognized by the United Nations. That is why no other country in the whole world have seen IPOP as a terrorist organization, except the Buhari government. So what does that tell you? That is where injustice comes in. You pamper your people who have been killing and maiming and destroying people's land and property. You pamper them, you cover them. But one young man who said, no, what you are doing to us is not good. We want self-determination. You now judge him. Is that fair?
Okay. All right.
No country in the whole world has seen IPOB as a terrorist organization. Now, it is an embarrassment on the part of the federal government that a group they proscribed is now influencing a whole world power to carry out action in Nigeria. A very big embarrassment. They shouldn't even say this. If they have wisdom and intelligence, they should not say this thing. This is a group we proscribe. So how is America listening to them? And to come to it, what Donald Trump came to Nigeria, is this for our own good or for our own bad? The man came to help us to do something nobody could have done in the last 15 years. Please, is this a bad omen for Nigeria? That is the question. Because I know that if Donald Trump did not do what he did, maybe what you are seeing today wouldn't have happened. Because all of a sudden, the federal government have woken up against the terrorists. Is that not true? There are activities now against them. So who made it possible? When people want to talk, please let them reason. Let them reason. Those people who want to reason before you talk. If I thought it was IPOB that did it, what they did, is it for the good of Nigeria and the federal government or not? And so, if it is for them, why is it that the federal government is not challenging Donald Trump? Say, why did you bomb Nigeria? Who told you to come? That is how to start, and not to be talking anyhow. So I should sit down here and condemn IPOB. If I thought they are the one that did it, what they did, is it for the good of Nigeria? That is the first question. If you answer that question, you can go ahead and talk. By the way, if you have done the needful, will Donald Trump come in? If you have done what you're supposed to do as the federal government to protect life and property, will anybody even enter Nigeria? Both terrorists and Donald Trump, will they enter Nigeria? So please, when they want to talk, let them reason before they talk, so that some of us will not interrogate it. That's what I'm saying here.
News coming from Kajuru is quite worrying, depressing for a lot of people who have endured these kinds of stories coming out from northern Nigeria. Now we understand that over 160 people have been kidnapped from churches in Kajuru. You tried to visit those areas. In fact, one of your videos went viral. So I'd like you to help Nigerians understand what you saw, your experience when you visited, and where we're at right now.
Okay, where we are right now is the fact that 177 people are in the bush right now as I'm talking to you. And they've been in the bush now for the past 2 days because they were abducted on Sunday. On Sunday around 9, they converge on the 3 churches in the community to hold their service. And there's an Equa Church, there's a Cherubim and Seraphim Church 1, then Cherubim and Seraphim Church 2. So they all came to hold service, and then around 9:30, armed gunmen, some on foot, some on motorcycles, came, splitted themselves into 3 groups, and then just surrounded the 3 churches and took the people into the bush. Now, because of the insecurity around that area, the members of Equa Church delayed going to church. I think their service usually start around 9:30. So if you look at the numbers of people they are taking, they had less members than the Cherubim and Seraphim, So right now, as we are talking, they're in the bush. So they took them, I think about over 200 people they took, walked into the bush. After a while, they now allowed the elderly, the old ones, and then those who are nursing children and to go back. They continue with them. And then in the process, because they are working with people who are over 100, but 11 people were able to escape too, and then they left. So right now we have 177 people who are in the bush. And the most amazing thing is that we got the report of this thing on Sunday. Sunday in the afternoon, reports started coming out that there has been a mass abduction in Kajuru, in Ungwangwali. And Ungwangwali is about 1.5 hour drive, from Kaduna Metropolis, if you are going to Kachia. So we started making contacts, and the good thing is that there's excellent network in the community. So we're able to do a lot of communication with people out there. We're waiting to see what the government will say, nothing in the evening on Sunday, nothing in the morning on Sunday, nothing. And then we decided to physically go there to see what is happening. And that's where the whole drama started, drove to the place, met the security men around Makali. There's a checkpoint there, told them, identify myself, and I said, I'm going to Kurminwali to see what is happening, and they said it's okay. And they told me that the sector commander is already there together with the local government chairman, who is also there, Dauda Madaki. So when they drove past the first community, Adinga, I was approaching Kurminwali when I saw the military coming up. And now because the road is bad and it's narrow, so I moved to the side, the car, to allow them to pass. And an officer came and met me, and I said, where am I going? I said, I'm going to Kurminwali to see what's happening. How did you get to hear about the whole thing? And he said, it's out there. I had a conversation with some of the people, and he said, he's coming. Went back to the car, came back, and he said, I can't go. I said, why? Who is there? He said, the chairman is with them. And the sector commander, I said, okay, tell the chairman is Ruben. Please, let me talk to him. He knows me. He came back, and he said, the chairman is not there. I said, well, you said he's there. I said, okay, let me talk to the sector commander. He came back and said, no, that I should just leave. I said, why? He said, I should just leave. I said, can you give me a reason why you are not allowing me to go in, that I should just leave? And then when I was about to go, he said, there's clearance operation going on around the area. I said, well, no problem. So I just turned my car, and, they positioned themselves. One car was in front, one about 3 or 4 were behind. Led me to the route, and then I left, So basically, that was what played out on yesterday, Monday.
Well, interesting. I'm just wondering why you were prevented from, accessing the community beyond the fact that there were clearance operations going on. But we hope that is valid reason enough, and it's nothing else to the contrary to suggest that, perhaps they're trying to protect or to guard the information from getting out beyond what we already know. But you say you interacted with members of the community.
Yes.
And
can I say something to that?
Okay, very quickly, before I get to my actual question.
Yeah. Okay, because we spoke to people in the community, and it was very difficult for them to speak, because they said, the chairman came and he said, please, that they should not talk to anyone. They should just keep this news within themselves. They'll try as much as possible to quickly bring out these people. And so basically that was the reason they were acting on the orders of the chairman, not to talk to anybody, not to divulge what happened in that community.
And it does suggest that the information about the kidnap was being guarded closely. So perhaps what was put out initially was a lie. But if we revisited the public relations officer's statement yet again, he said that during that meeting that was held at the Kaduna Government House, that some members of the community were the ones who said nothing of the sort happened. I'd like you to react to that based on your experience, based on your interaction with members of the community. How true is that?
Okay, you see, what happened? I also had an interaction with the youth leader that was said to have told people that nothing happened. And he said the chairman reached out to him and he said, they don't want this news to get out, so he should tell people that nothing happened. And then they also reached out to one or two people and they insisted and they said nothing. From when it happened, there was a deliberate attempt to close down the news, to black it out. It was deliberate. People were spoken to and they were told not to speak to the press or to anybody out there. So those people who spoke, they actually spoke on the instruction that they got that they should not speak to anyone. So that was the reason when they came out from that security meeting that they held at the government house. You saw the PPRO said nothing happened, the chairman said nothing happened, and all the other people around kept saying nothing happened. And it was actually contrary to what actually took part, what happened in the community.
It's quite an interesting development, but now the story is out there. But from your view, I know you're not a security expert, but this is the question Nigerians are asking. Since you're familiar with the area, what do you think because we must give kudos to the governor for the effort he's made in the past. Perhaps this embarrassment of all of that effort being rubbished is why they are closely guarding it. But we've seen some de-escalation, literally peaceful situation compared to the previous administration. So we can't take that away from him. But what has happened, and we cannot deny what is true. And that is where we say they were wrong on this one. A holding statement would have served rather than outright denial. Now, who is embarrassed? Everybody's embarrassed. What does the area look like in terms of geography that makes it easy or made it easy for this to happen?
Okay, it's remote. And it's remote because the road to the place is not good. Now, from the main road, okay, if you're going to that place on your way to Kachia, I think it's about an hour or thereabout, you get to Makali, which is a community, and then you take your right road, and then you drive in the bush for like 6 kilometers. Now, the 6 kilometers is based on the assumption that you are driving on a very smooth road, but it should take you close to 40 minutes to actually get to the place. Now, the place is remote. There's no good route into that place. So communities around that place have repeatedly been attacked. Now, Kunminwali is one of the last communities that is even standing. If you go beyond Kunminwali community, there's Dogonuma, there's Ungwampada, and some other communities out there. All these communities have repeatedly been attacked. In fact, some of them have had to abandon their communities and move into Kunminwali and some other things like that. So the issue is that the community is a bit remote. Accessing it is a bit remote. It's very easy for these people to come in, do all the attacking and kidnapping and whatever it is that they do and go before the military come in. And like you said, I want to commend the military and even the state government for what they've been doing. We've seen improvement, in the security. We've seen improvement in what they are doing. But what happened here, for me, would have been handled differently. And for me, they said, look, we had an incident here. Reassure the people, yes, there was an incident, but security is on top of the matter. We're pursuing these people and we'll try as much as possible to see that we bring them back. That will have, solved the issue rather other than stopping people from going into that place. Apart from me, the other people that made attempt to go there and they were stopped and told to go back. So by the time they kept doing that thing, it kept raising a lot of curiosity in people. Now, if you claim that nothing happened in that community, why are you stopping people from going in? And unfortunately, the place had excellent network. Virtually everybody in the community has a phone. So it was very easy for people to, keep calling and verifying all this kind of thing. But communities around that place, and not just Kulminwadi, you see, Kejuru has been terribly hit in terms of this insecurity, And what I realize is that by the time the military come into this particular area and they go after this kidnappers, these bandits, they simply move to another area. And they concentrate in that place. And by the time they go after them, and they are going after them, they move to another area again. And, it's vast. It's very, very vast forest that is there. Very, very vast forest. So they simply move from here to there. And they continue harassing these vulnerable people on and on.
So we have this, terrible situation in our hands. That's not to take away the work that has been done previously by the security government of Kaduna State, but this is clearly an issue that must be resolved right now. I'd like you to answer 3 questions. 1, has contact been made yet with these people in the bushes, the worshippers who were abducted from the 3 churches? Has there been any sort of contact between them, the family, or even the kidnappers and their families? And that takes me to the next question. Who are these kidnappers? What are you hearing from the communities? Terrorists? Bandits? One and same anyway, but what kind of tag do we have right now for those responsible? And the third question, why target a church? Particularly at this time where we've had, series of attacks on churches, and the government is trying so hard to first clear its image with the United States and also try as much as possible to ensure that some of these attacks don't happen again. So 3 questions, Mr. Buhari.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't want to really go into the security situation seriously, but I can tell you that contact has been made. When I spoke to some of the victims, because there were some who managed to escape, whose families are still with them, and they said yes. Yesterday, I think in the afternoon, that the kidnappers called, and they've started making demands, so that is that. And then I don't really know why they pick a church, but I think it's because this is a soft target and you have so many people in one place, and like I said, this community has repeatedly been attacked. They've had a lot of people being abducted from them. On the 11th, 21 people were taken from that community, and they paid about 7 million naira before those 21 people could come back. Right now, as I'm talking to you, there's one of them who is at St. Gerard Hospital. He's lying critically ill because of the beating. And then so they've had this, sometimes they'll have to run into the bush, these guys will come in, pack their livestock, pack their chicken and stuff like that. So they've been doing that. So I think it's basically because this is a soft target, and then they have this mass people congregated, in one particular place. I think for me, this is the reason, because mass abduction have actually been taking place, but we've not been witnessing in that. And I think anytime they do this mass abduction, the return seems to be much higher than individual abduction. So possibly that is the reason that they've been doing. I don't know what was
the third question is, who is responsible for this? From what you're hearing from people as we wind up.
And this is based on the conversation we've had with them. They said when they came, and then they surrounded the churches, because what they were saying is that everybody, they were saying in Hausa, Kowa Kwanta Kasa, everybody lie down on the floor, Kowa Kwanta Kasa, in Hausa. And they said what they were saying from their Hausa, they knew it was pure Fulani, who who were doing that, and they said they've had these attacks. They've had this conversation with them, previous attacks, and they knew they were these people who came in. So these are bandits who speak Fulani, who came in based on what these people are saying, who did all these things. Because even when they call, you could hear the accent very thick, speaking heavily, thickly accented Hausa. So they are Fulani militia, like we call them here. We call them Fulani militia, who have been doing these terrible things here.
Let's just get one more very quickly before we wrap up this. Can you tell us what security formations look like in Kajuru local government? You did acknowledge that things have improved there as far as security is concerned, but in terms of perhaps there's a forward operating base, police architecture, can you describe it very quickly?
Okay, yeah. The challenge here is because the place is vast. Kajuru is vast, so you have a lot of ungoverned spaces. And like I said, we've witnessed a lot of improvement in terms of security situation. We've seen where the military, they've actually gone into the bush after these people, But like I said, the problem is that you have a lot of these bandits spread all over, a lot of groups out there. So by the time you push these people, they move to one side. And the security arrangement is that on the road, you have a lot of security. Like if you're going to Kachia, you pass almost like 3 military checkpoints over there who have actually been helping. And then there's another new one that came in just before Afogo. Because they realized that is a route that this bandit usually takes. So they've just put one, I think about a month ago, they've just put one there now. But the problem is the communities that are inside. That is where the problem. These people are basically vulnerable. Apart from their own small domestic, arrangement to see how they can, protect themselves, they are virtually vulnerable. And this is tied to the fact that the area is so large. I mean, before you can begin to police all these areas, is a bit difficult. So that is the situation. On the road, communities on the road, honestly speaking, they are peaceful. But those communities out there, like, for example, Kulminwali is about 6 kilometers from the road. Right. And behind Kulminwali, there are like almost 10 other communities. So you walked almost like 20, 30 kilometers from the main road before you can get into some of these communities, So that basically seems to be the problem. Communities, remote communities are actually vulnerable. Right. No security out there. To them, apart from what they usually do, the small, vigilante and stuff that there.
Good day, everyone. We wake up this morning with pain in our hearts, with bitterness in our hearts, and crying out to God for help. Waking up this early morning, Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, in my community, Kuru District in Jos South, Plateau State, Nigeria. Waking up this morning, the community was attacked by Fulani terrorists who came in, destroy and kill people. And among those who were killed, young and able men who are struggling to bring food to their families, who will wake up in the morning struggling to get food to take care of their families. 7 able young men killed. This is terrible. This is heartbreaking. Kuru community in Josa local government of Plateau State, Nigeria, was thrown into a mourning situation. These able young men that were killed by these wicked terrorist Fulani guys is sad that none was arrested. For goodness sake, these are human beings. These are not ghosts. You look at their base in Rio, Mahanga. These people are wiping away Christians. When we talk about Christian genocide in Plateau State, Middle Belt, and Nigeria, only the wicked will deny this fact. There are evidence abound. People can come and see what is going on. You go to Riom local government, they have taken over more than 18 communities there, where they have killed the people, wiped them out, taken over their homes. But yet, the government will pretend that nothing is happening. Is it not shameful that even the government will look for money to bribe and lobby to deny the fact of Christian genocide in Nigeria? Now look at it today. In the night, early morning of today, Thursday, 22nd of January 2026, these able young men who went out to look for food for their families. When I was looking at the list of these young people that were hacked to death by these Fulani terrorists, my heart ached. I am in pain. Looking at young men coming from my community. These are families that we know. These are families that we live together in peace. These are families that we worship God together. Today they are no more. It's so painful. And I was looking at the names of these young people. Dungyang, a 19-year-old young man, left behind a widow and a small child. Wendung, 26, killed. Left behind 2 little children and a wife. And I look at Francis Paul, 23-year-old young man, killed. Left behind a wife and a small child. Samuel Peter, 22-year-old, killed. Left behind a small child and a wife. Dung Simon, 28-year-old young man, hacked to death. Left behind a wife and 3 children. Pam Dung, 23, and Francis Marcus, 15-year-old young man. These are young people with a bright future. And overnight, killed by Fulani terrorists. What a painful day. What a sad situation for my community in Kuru district of Jos South Plateau State. And the painful thing about this situation, people are being killed on daily basis. Christians are being wiped away in Plateau State, Middle Belt, and Nigeria. It is sad that the government are even denying this fact. We have graves all over the land. Mass graves of people all over the land. These are verifiable facts. You can verify them. They are all there for everyone to see. I want to plead with the American government to do something, and to do something fast before we are completely wiped away by these Fulani terrorists. I am pleading with the American government. Please act now. Save our lives. We are being killed and terrorized by these Fulani terrorists. And we know the government cannot save us. The government are busy denying the fact of Christian genocide. American government, we plead with you. Act, and act fast. Now these young men are gone. Who cares about them? Who cares about their families? What a painful day for us today. It's sad. It's so painful that we keep losing young people in our communities, killed overnight, and no justice for our communities. There is Christian genocide going on right now in Plateau State, in Middle Belt, in Nigeria. No one will deny this fact. I plead with you, the American government, come and save us from the hands of these Fulani terrorists. Because we know the Nigerian government is not willing, is not capable of saving us. We pray for intervention. Please act, and act fast.
U.S. Congress is about to present a case to Donald Trump over breaking Nigeria into northern and southern Nigeria. The north will be the Muslim part of Nigeria, while the south will be the Christian part of Nigeria. According to the report, I'm sure most of you have seen that video, where the U.S. Congressman Ray Moore was addressing the Congress, telling them that they're about to present that suggestion to Donald Trump, that the best way that Nigeria can exist without controversy and religious crisis is to divide the country into northern and southern Nigeria, which is the Muslims will stay on their own, while the Christians will stay on their own. The report said, U.S. Congress to propose the breaking of Nigeria to President Donald Trump. We will provide options for President Trump on Nigeria. This January 2026, U.S. Congressman Ray Moore said, breaking up Nigeria will be one of the options to create a safe zone for Christians in Nigeria. Half Muslim, half Christian has never worked, and it will never work. Islam in Nigeria will not accept equality, according to this report. After this news, everywhere is scattered. You can see this post and the caption from another man telling the North to wake up, that the U.S. Congress has proposed to break up Nigeria. This news sent a very serious shockwaves to the North, because these guys does not want anything that will bring separation in the country. Do you think that this suggestion by Ray Moore to suggest to Donald Trump to divide this country into northern and southern Nigeria, do you think this is going to be the best option?
So guys, like you can see, it is very, very pathetic to see how Nigeria is being run down by, the Fulanis. They are the ones in power. They are the ones that determine so many things that happen in Nigeria, especially as regards to security. So I don't know the kind of deal that the APC do enter, while coming into power. I don't know how the APC try to rubbish the security in Nigeria, because I don't get it that the Fulanis are the ones destroying Nigeria, the Fulani terrorists, and then you are still giving security to the Fulani man. Does it make sense? Is it that there must be an agreement that we will control security? That is the question I'm asking. Must it be agreed that we must control security? Is it that is the agreement everybody must enter? Anyway, possibly that should be the reason why majority of them didn't vote for Peter Obi, because I don't get it. They know that Peter Obi will not be able to enter that kind of deal with them. Peter Obi will not be able to tell you, okay, come and buy my people, let me give you security. It's not possible, and that is why people are questioning what is happening in Nigeria today. What is happening. It's really so sad. Now, considering what has happened in in Plateau State, it will shock you to see how many people have been by these few days. Now, let me take you through some other headlines on the social media. This one says Nigerian authorities did nothing when 3 trailers conveying terrorists entered Sokoto from Sahel in August. Can you imagine? 3 trailers conveying terrorists entered Sokoto. Right advocate is saying that in this country, 3 trailers carrying. That's why when we see trailers in the south, we react. But immediately you react, the northerners will start saying, oh, every Nigerian has the right to. How do you pack people in trailer at once and go and dump in a state? How? Tell me how. Tell me how. This person say a government that pardons terrorists is an accomplice. This person say they know. Igbo political jobbers did Bashir tell you about this? Did you hear it from the Nigerian media? Did the Sultan of Sokoto say anything about it? So guys, it is heartbreaking to see that the North is turning out to be something else. You know, the North is really turning out to be something else. You can imagine 3 trailer loads of terrorists. Trailer conveying terrorists entered Sokoto from Sahel in August, and the government did nothing. Tinubu is all about 2027. How do I buy the governors? How do they come? This election is going to be between Nigerians and politicians. Let all the governors be in one party. The Nigerian people who are tired and sick of what is happening in Nigeria must come back to reclaim their country. That's just it. Because enough of all this, you know, enough of all this. Okay, let me read out this. Where the media will be making a space soon on how to grow your account by 10 days, but before then, follow. So this is just somebody commenting, but guys, it's really so pathetic that we have this number of terrorists entering Sokoto state and nobody did anything. Now, Delefawo to me say more than 150 Nigerians missing, yet no accountability. Delefawo to me slam Tinubu government for state failure over Christian abduction in Kaduna. So guys, a whole lot is happening. 35 million Nigerians face hunger threat in 2026 United Nations. Tinubu doesn't care. He wants to come back. Nothing to campaign with. He believes with the help of these governors, Tinubu will find his way back into the office. Now, this is coming from the USA. It says General John Brennan joined senior leaders in Abuja today to launch the inaugural US-Nigeria Working Group. This group establishes a new framework for coordination, accountability, and joint effort to counter terrorism and protect the vulnerable. The US is actually working very hard to assist Nigeria in all this. The question remains, are we really ready? Are we really ready? That's the question everybody should be asking. Are we really ready? So guys, that is it. Are we really ready? The United States has come to Nigeria now to see how they can work together. But are we really ready to get rid of terrorism in Nigeria? This is an ideological something. It's not easy to get a raise from people. I mean, it is from the bottom of their heart. For them, they're fighting for Allah. Allah is going to reward them with vengeance. But at the end of the day, they are there buying their own people. Anyway, guys, I don't know what you make of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But before we end this video, Malami allegedly stole a lot of funds. What the government has seen so far is not even a quarter, because my specialty is in the recovery of funds. I trace funds wherever they are, and that's why they have been after me. We can recover these funds from Malami. There are more than what has been seen. What 217 billion naira worth of property? Abdul Salam Maina, former chairman of the pension reform tax team, calls for more investigation. So guys, this guy Buhari dealt with him when it was Buhari's turn. Now Buhari's man is under Tinubu's net, and he's saying that Tinubu's government should go all out after him. Now let's see how some Nigerians have reacted to him. You know, this person here said, okay, this person here said, just imagine Maina, a certificate thief turned savior. The drama is never ending. This person is the one that shall never end, that shall never cease in Nigeria. Another person here said, must be cracked at this moment from an ex-convict. A kettle calling pot black, shameless ex-convict. Very soon he will join APC. And this one says, it is only Nigerians that just come online that will not remember the name. Do a Google search, pension chief thief Maina, or well, not thief go sabi catch thief Malami versus Magu. Please, Magu, come. And this one is a chronic thief wants to trace and recover stolen loot from a new thief. This can only happen in Nigeria, honestly. So guys, this is Maina, who was dealt with under the Tinubu's government. Now he is the one saying that Malami should be dealt with. Abdusalam Maina court sentenced former pension boss to 8 years imprisonment for money laundering, and now he's calling out the others. Like this one now here says, court orders Maina, Abdul Rashid Maina, to surrender 23 properties to EFCC for 100 billion Mago accused. So guys, Nigeria is a drama scene. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Naija Voice TV. Stay tuned for latest updates.